Thank you, and welcome to our Fostoria Junior High Band's winter concert, holiday concert 2014. This is the 8th grade band. That was Canon of Peace, which is also known as Done Nobis Pacem, a certainly timely, always piece of literature, and especially during this time of the year. We hope you enjoy the show tonight. The students have worked very, very hard on all of this music. You'll notice there's a mix of both seasonal and non-seasonal favorites, because as soon as we got done with junior high band night in September, we started working on some of this, and I'm all for Jingle Bells, but Jingle Bells in late September, not so much. So there's a nice mix of, like I said, seasonal and non-seasonal favorites, and we hope you enjoy. That was fun. We like that one. Our next one is made popular by the Disney movie Mulan. Mulan? Mulan, Mulan, Melan, Mulan. And we hope you enjoy that one. Also a little more poppy. It's called Reflection. Before we close out the 8th grade part of the program, I made some notes so I didn't forget anything. You'll notice that the majority of our junior high people have our junior high band shirt, which is a great red polo shirt embroidered with the junior high band or the Fostoria band's logo on it. The 8th graders have one that have words. Most of them do. The 7th graders, most of them don't, because we kind of switched that up this year. But this is it's a great shirt, and it's required for the concert uniform for junior high. So if your child does not have theirs yet, you need to make sure that they get one. So see me about that. We can make sure we get that taken care of. But in order to get full points, that is our standard dress, just like you'd have a uniform for basketball or for softball, whatever. That's our concert dress uniform, black pants and the junior high band polo shirt. So make sure, if you don't have that, that we see me. We can get that taken care of for you. Also, speaking of which, there's also several people. We switch books when we get to junior high. The 7th grade need book 2, and the 8th grade need book 3, and we have a couple people who still are struggling with that concept, and in order to get the weekly participation points, you need to have all the equipment. So make sure we get that. Sounds like a great stocking stuffer, if you have a big square stocking. If your stocking isn't big and square, you can wrap it and put it under the tree. But either way, if you have any questions about any of that stuff, please talk to Mrs. Kleba or talk to myself, and we'll make sure you have all the help you need and getting everything that your child needs to be successful in band. So one more for the 8th graders. This one's called Bobsled Run. It threw them off a little bit when we passed it out because it is fairly challenging. It has a lot of small notes, but it's not that fast. This was based off of not the current Olympic bobsled style, but more the sitting in a sled behind some horses, getting pulled around the field type of bobsled. So if you're expecting cool runnings, this has nothing to do with the Jamaican or any other bobsled team. This is more of an old style, think more Jingle Bells and less Sochi Olympics. So this is Bobsled Run. While we effort our transition, there we go. In case you didn't know, there are several ways to make sure you're keeping current with the happenings in the Fostoria Redmond Bands Department. We have a Facebook page, Fostoria Redmond Bands. There's also a Facebook page for the Redmond Music Club, which is our parent support organization, which is not just for high school people. It is for anyone who has anyone involved or any desire to help out with the Redmond Band program. So we encourage you to like those pages and keep track of what's going on. Lots of videos, lots of pictures, lots of announcements on there. Also, we have an email group that we've tried to start up. We don't have a whole lot of emails for it yet. So if you're interested in that, get a hold of me. Also, if you have we do have a Remind account, which is text messaging. And you can ask your student. I can send you home a paper about that. We always try and make sure that everyone is up to date and knowing what's going on and where. So that's fantastic. This is the 7th grade band. They have 5 songs for you today also, and are looking forward to them as we go. So here's the 7th graders. Hey, 7th graders. One of the let's leave it here. One of the outstanding noticeable features of the 7th grade band, outside of just the general bigness, although we have a couple people missing today, are the number of clarinet players in the group. We started the, thank you, Lily. We started the year with 11. Actually, we started the year with 12. One of them switched instruments, which is fine, and one of them unfortunately moved. So now we're down to 10, but still wanted to do something that would feature having so many clarinet players, and so we found this song. It's called Candy Cane Clarinets, and it features the clarinet section. Enjoy. Except that song apparently comes later. The next one's Galactic Episode. Sometimes out of the worst situations come the best stories. During World War I, Christmas in 1914, Christmas Eve in 1914, generally they had a ceasefire for the Christmas. And if you remember, if you know anything about World War I, they fought in trenches. And one side would dig a trench, the other side would dig a trench, and they'd spend all this time in the trench. And they'd fight back and forth, and the end. Christmas Eve of 1941, as the clock struck midnight, ceasefire started, and a German soldier came out of his trench and started singing the song that we know as Silent Night, in German, Stille Nacht. And next thing you know, the British started singing along with, and everyone sort of met in the middle, and they had Christmas together. The Germans and the British, and they played games, and they shared stories and shared food together and had a wonderful time. And then the realities of war set in once Christmas truce was over, and they went back among their ways. But for that moment, to find humanity in the midst of all of the violence that war brings is certainly a touching story and a great tribute to the human spirit. And so this song is based off of that 1914 Christmas truce. It starts with quoting Gustav Holst Mars from the Planet Suite. Mars, of course, is the bringer of war, and so it's got the war music to begin with, and then switches to Silent Night afterwards, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So here is the Christmas Truce of 1914. We have a lot of clarinet players, but you've heard the rest of that story. I would like to take a moment, since I already did this speech ahead of time, to thank everyone involved in today's production, not only Jeremy Smith and his PAC staff, but also Matt Swarchek and his FETV crew. For those of you who don't know, we are streaming live on the internet right now. So all over the world, and especially in Saudi Arabia, I think, we have an audience watching in, so that's great. This video will be available on their YouTube channel. If you just search FETV and subscribe to the YouTube channel, you can see streaming live of Channel 10 from your computer and all of the great videos that Mr. Swarchek and his students put out, whether it's concert videos or the We Are Redmond show or the Focus on Redmond show. There's a lot of great stuff happening here at Fostoria with our technology and our television multimedia department, and certainly worth looking up and watching. So, okay, the clarinet song. In closing, we want to thank everyone for coming out on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, and wish everyone the best of holidays, and thank you for sharing your children with us. We certainly appreciate it, and we close with Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. back of there. Percussion, everybody grab a couple things and go.